Just having a quick drink. Now, it is 10:45. Oh, look at my hair. So I look a bit sweaty and a bit disheveled because actually I've just finished teaching an African dance fitness class. I'm here to speak to you about health and longevity. It's not, good morning V, how are you doing, Grand Rising? It is not about having an amazing summer body that looks wonderful on the beach or in those tight shorts. And we're talking about men, you know, they're not trying to look amazing in that summer t-shirt. It's about health and longevity. Our human bodies basically are supposed to last about 130 years, really. However, if we think about it, who's the last person that we knew that died of natural causes? It's always something else. It's like who's died of older age recently? It's always been something else. So I was diagnosed with all sorts of things and given pharmaceuticals to deal with it and told, go home, there is no cure. Now, this is an autoimmune issue I knew nothing about, because really diseases don't really run in families. Lifestyles run in families, and it's lifestyle changes that I had to make. I had to take some things out of my lifestyle, add some things into my lifestyle. Good morning, Grand Rising, Jenny. Add things in, take out old habits and add new habits in. So as a woman, I have suffered from female gynecological issues. No one told me that Kegels, until I got pregnant, no one told me that Kegels were an important thing to do. Now, Kegel, we don't even necessarily know how to do it because there are muscles inside our bodies that we don't necessarily use or have learned how to use. An easy way to describe it is, when you're sitting on the toilet, when you're urinating, stopping the flow of urination, that is engaging the muscles that we need to use and need to be in control of. If you imagine it as taking an elevator from the bottom floor all the way up and then releasing it all the way down, squeezing, contracting up and then releasing down. I often sing and have music to do with anything when it comes to movement. So these are something that you could do maybe 10 repetitions of, have a little break. 10 repetitions of, have a little break. Do it while you're waiting for the kettle to boil. Do it while you're having a wee, but don't get into the habit of doing it too much while you're having a wee so that you don't get into the habit of not emptying your bowels fully. Now, I've written an article that goes into all of these topics, and it's in a digital magazine called Vegan Melanated. I'm a plant-based African. I went plant-based and changed my lifestyle because of the things that I was diagnosed with. So these pharmaceuticals I was given, I took them for 2 weeks and then stopped taking them because I found out that with diet and nutrition and movement, our bodies are made to move. Now, after this live, in the comments underneath it, when it posts, I'm going to put in all the resources, all the articles that you can read about how humans are supposed to move. Humans get a natural high. If you've heard of our endocannabinoid system, I'm not talking about cannabis. Cannabis is a phytocannabinoid. It's a plant source of cannabinoids. We have an endocannabinoid system, same as we have a respiratory system, same as we have a digestive system. And our endocannabinoid system is the one that gives us that runner's high. Have you heard of the runner's high? Not everyone gets what is classically called the runner's high, but we do get it. When we have done some sweaty exercise, when we've done some movement that is considered endurance, you know, after it, we feel more loving. We feel happier. We feel elevated. It is a natural high. Our endocannabinoid system is being nourished. You can nourish your endocannabinoid system by singing, by dancing, by moving, by anything. My favorites are yoga and dance. I dance all of the time. Dance like nobody is watching. Another thing that we're too obsessed with is other people's opinions. Another thing I'm challenging in my African dance classes is the sexualization of our bodies. This thing here, our bum, this is the biggest muscle in our body, and it is the mecca of power for our entire system. This is a factory system. It is not just a body, it's almost like a skin-covered petri dish with the amount of things that are going on inside this colony here. Do you know how much? I'm going to go into a lot of topics, but I've only got 15 minutes, so I'll just touch on them all, just to give you some things to think about and some things to maybe research by yourself. Our microbiome, 70+% of our immune system. So what we're putting into our bodies and what we're putting onto our bodies, because we also have a skin microbiome. We are 1% human when it comes to DNA. 1%. If you added all the DNA of the bacteria, the viruses, the fungus in your body, the amount of DNA that you have is as much as your big toe. That's how human you are, your big toe. Simples. So look into the microbiome. As I said, I'm going to put resources into the comments. This position here, yes, you can still see me. This squat, this is how we are meant to give birth. This is how we are meant to be at rest. Every time we sit on a chair, on a sofa, in our cars, we're actually deactivating certain muscles. Our butt muscle, our gluteus maximus, gets deactivated. That's worrying to me. So what I did as part of my lifestyle change, I gave myself a standing desk. I work from home. If you even work in an office, you can ask for a standing desk, which is ergonomic to the height at which, because I also got really, really bad RSI. There was a point I couldn't cut my own food because my wrists hurt so much from working in an office and working at the wrong position with mice and keyboards. So find some height that's ergonomic for your body, height-wise. You can find the information online, it's not too difficult. You can even buy little desks that you can change the height of to put your computer on. I encourage you to get a standing desk and sit as little as possible. If you are going to sit, you should wait for the bus in this position. You should wait for the kettle to boil in this position. Or obviously do Kegels. In class, in my African dance classes, I encourage the isolation of this part of our bodies, our core. It's not just a six-pack here. There are so many different muscles involved in our core. People think, oh, your core just means your abs, and I should get a six-pack. No, there are muscles all the way up, all the way around, all the way around, and we do not use them as much as possible, which is why you are never going to see me with a Zimmer frame. You're going to never see me with a walking cane, unless something happens, something external that I have no control over. There's certain things we don't have control over, but this, you have complete control over all of this. Make it work for you. So, in class, I know the angle of the camera isn't great, but I can't change it or my phone's going to fall down. We are isolating our core. When we tilt upwards, it's an actual contraction of all the muscles. All these here, all these here. You're squeezing, I don't mean squeeze it with your hands, but you're squeezing your butt cheeks together and you're squeezing these muscles here and then releasing it. Exhale to do the squeeze. You can do this while you're waiting for the kettle to boil. You can do this while you're waiting for your teenager to get out the flipping bathroom. You can do this while you're on a phone call. Anytime you like. And what you will find is, what I found is, my period pain even reduced. So I have a really long history of problems gynecologically. I was on tranquilizers, like I want to call them horse tranquilizers, at a very young age, as soon as I started my period, just because I couldn't deal with the pain. I couldn't eat, I couldn't go to school, I couldn't really much get out of bed, and if I did take the painkiller, because I couldn't eat, it was on an empty stomach, so I'd throw that up over and over and over and over again, and then I got given the pill. I was on pill for such a long time, a pill that they actually recalled. Had so many problems with my period, took me so long to get pregnant when my body finally decided, tick, tick, tock, tock, you're gonna have a baby. And I was like, okay, I'm gonna have a baby. How? My woman's been sedated most of her life. After the pill, I got the coil after my third child because I had 3 C-sections also. It's not that when they have a C-section, they don't cut the muscle, they pull it apart. to get the baby out of the sunroof. So I didn't even know I had so much work to do to strengthen my core again. So I don't even do sit-ups anymore, really. I don't do sit-ups anymore. There are some movements that we should be able to get into regardless of our age. Have you seen these old women in India, in the market, just sat like that? Really? Yes. And my grandmother, unfortunately, because of the Western way of doing things, she's quite frail. Whereas I've seen people older than her sitting, picking up grandchildren, getting on the floor and playing. If you look into something called animal movement, that's another thing, and called primal play. The guy that runs it is called Daryl Edwards. I shall put his information in the comments as well. But even doing this crawling is something we were born to do. Sitting like that is something we were born to do. Practice your squat every day. Find the altitude you're comfortable with, stay there for a little bit, and release it. Get back there, and release it. Every day, you'll be getting lower. What you want to do, put the weight into your heels. We're not on tiptoes. A lot of people will end up doing this. That's not a squat. Weight into your heels, chest up, bum out. We're not rounding our back, we need to take care of our back. I've had three C-sections, I know about having to take care of my back. It's as if you're going to sit down, oh, and then you change your mind. Oh, now I've changed my mind. Okay? And every time you do that, you will get lower, and eventually, ideally, you want your ass to the grass. You could sit here for a second, listening to a little song, your favourite song. Maybe get your elbows in there, push your hips out a little wider from the side. It looks like this if you can see me. I still have my chest up. I'm not leaning forward. Whatever altitude you can get to whilst maintaining your alignment with your chest up. What was the other thing I was going to say? What time is it? Do you know, I should have asked for a 2-hour slot really, because I could go on about this all day. See if I had to take a drink to refresh myself. What else was I going to talk about? So, in my African dance class, the thing I like about it so much more than anything else I've ever done, because there was one point I got so hench. This is not even... my muscles are so small right now. Honestly, my muscles... I'm just giving this... Sorry about that. My muscles are actually really small right now. My obsession was with being as strong as I could be. Because as a mother... what if there's an emergency and I physically have to carry my husband to the car? What if my teenager's bigger than me now? What if I had to carry him down the stairs? I did have to do that. I don't know what happened to him, but he hurt his lower back. He was sitting in stupid positions. I don't know how he does that. I'm his mother. I talk about posture all the time. But anyway, not gonna listen to me. I had to carry him down the stairs. And in that moment, I thought to myself, thank goodness that I've made strength a priority, because I don't know what I'd do otherwise. I'm the sort of person who really doesn't have, having to rely on other people to do things for me. It's a bit of a detriment because sometimes I don't accept help when I actually need it. It's a balancing act, and we're all learning, right? We're all learning. The best thing that I have learned from this African dance fitness is that I have had problems with my shoulders, I've had problems with my hips, I've had problems with my knees. Because even when you're weight training and following programs, I was a beach body coach. I'm still a beach body coach because I like the programs. I was learning Tai Chi there and yoga. I wasn't paying attention to the fact that I need to have my knees bent at all times. My boomsy crew, call them a boomsy crew. The boomsy just means anything that hasn't got an appendage on it. It really just means your whole core, really. She just wanted a word that encompassed all of this. She always tells you. It was devised by a professor of dance from Ghana, by the way, taking the cultural dances from across the continent of Africa, the motherland, actually called Merita, that's his real name, Meritah, because you've seen children to old men and women dancing. They do not have the problems we have in the West. Do they have Zimmer frames in the village? Do they as like? No, they don't. They don't. And you know, their bumsies are always moving. They have utter strength in this part of their body. Their knees are mostly bent. They do the tiniest movements. They get down low. Their elbows are involved, right? Most of the time. Do you know how much more difficult it is when you raise your hand up higher? Do you know how much harder this has to work? Every time you raise your knee, raise your leg, this core has to engage. Do you know what gets us doing it? It's 11 o'clock. Music. There's a book called The Joy of Movement. What's that? And it talks about the fact that this natural high I've been talking about, the endocannabinoid system, moving in groups, in unison, we're doing the same steps. We're doing the same steps. To music is the way to get the ultimate natural high. There is nothing that can touch it chemically, in our bodies, even outside of our bodies, inside of our bodies. There's nothing that can touch this ultimate natural high. Moving in groups to movement. When it comes to psychology, if you've heard about the mirroring people, like salespeople do this a lot. Their client will be sitting like this, listening. So the salesperson will also sit like that as they talk, mirroring. It has such a deep psychological effect on how we feel about the person that we're interacting with. So in my group, I know I'm running over time, I'm sorry. In my classes, the joy that I get from teaching, the joy that they get from participating, I know it's on Zoom, it's not the same as being in a room together. However, we can see each other. We can see each other moving in unison. We can feel the music. I have it loud enough that you can feel the beat inside your body. And we move in unison. At the end of class, I was almost late for this. I finished teaching at 10. We were chatting at the end for another half an hour. We didn't want to let it go. It's called collective joy. Collective joy is a term coined by, oh my God, I forgot his name. I'll put it in the comments. To describe the way that humans, when moving in groups, in unison, to music, commune, gain a natural high in a way that isn't possible. Look at any culture in any part of the world, ancient cultures. They all have a dance that goes with an occasion or just a time of day, and it always has music to it. If they don't have drums or instruments, they use their bodies. Hey! They use their voices, they use their bodies, they tap. They create a beat any way they can. They use their voices, they ululate, they sing. So, point being, the importance of movement is much more than the summer body and the bikini. And I don't wear bikinis. I don't shave my armpits. I don't shave that either. I don't wear bikinis. It's much more than getting a sweat on. Ooh, I didn't talk about the sweat. Ooh, we're 4 minutes past. Sorry, V. The sweat. So, environmental toxins. Another of the things that I had to get rid of in my life to heal myself. I had to detox. There was things I was putting on my skin, into my body, up my nose, in my eyes, you know, the Otrivine, because the blocked nose and everything. I was obsessed with that stuff because I was always getting a cold. Once I changed my diet, my lifestyle, my nutrition, blah, 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 then I wasn't dependent on that anymore. Oh, thank goodness for that. And lots of little, I'm on live, back in a second. I homeschool my 3 children and they're knocking at the door. Loads of little aha moments. And it all started falling into place about what I should be doing and not doing to help heal my body. The sweating, you detox so much through your sweat. You can detox through your urine and your feces. Urine is actually excess, let's say excess water, excess vitamins that you haven't taken in, that's excess. There's actually a thing called urine therapy. We can talk about that another day. Your feces, that is waste. That stuff your body does not need. Your sweat glands, so many you have in your armpits, yet we are putting chemicals on them that's impairing their ability. Because it's like, they're called lymph nodes, and they carry fluid through the body. It's like the bin man going around the streets, picking up all the bins from all the streets, and then getting rid of it. Perfect place. We detox through our sweat. We detox environmental toxins through our sweat as well. So, as I said, it's so much more than the bikini on the beach. And everyone say, oh, the summer body starts in winter. Dude! This thing you're calling the summer body, just make it a 365. Yeah, let's just make it a 365. Movement is an antidepressant, detoxes your body, improves your sleep, improves your digestion, improves your ability to poop. Let's talk about poop. 2 more minutes. Let's talk about poop. So, they're now marketing a thing called the squatty potty, because ideally we need to raise up there for the sphincter to properly engage to release the poop. When we sit on our white porcelain thrones, we're not at the right angle. Neither is our internals. You could lean forward like that to make the angle more pronounced to be able to release your bowels, but that's not ideal and it puts pressure on our back. So there's now a thing called the squatty potty, which is marketed to put underneath your feet, and it raises your feet to the right angle to poop. Anybody ever pooped in a village? Because I have. I lived in Nigeria for a while as a kid. I'm going to be living back in the motherland. And I kind of want to install toilet holes. I don't know what the technical term is from where you're from ethnically, but this is also the way to poop. So yeah, that's a big list of things that movement is important for, and I'm going to leave it there. If you'd like any more information, as I said, I could talk about this for ages, kind of underestimated the time slot I would need. If you want to join classes, the first class is free. Yeah, I'm going to go now because I need to get back to my homeschooling children and feed them and give them education. It's been wonderful seeing you all here. Oh my goodness, I haven't looked at the comments. When you dance, you do. When you dance, you feel free. It's amazing. Dance like no one is watching. Absolutely, because why are we bothered about other people's opinions all the time? Really? Because they do not have our best interest at heart. If you got your baggage and then you got everyone in a circle and everyone put their baggage in the middle, and you could pick someone else's baggage to go home with, you wouldn't. You'd take your own and you'd go. You know, other people's opinions. Oof, got to get past that. Yeah, 3 C-sections. Ugh. The first C-section, basically they overdrugged me. Baby didn't want to come out. Baby was like, yo, I'm chilling. What? I had to take him out the sunroof. Second baby, they were like, well, you've had one already, so you should have another one. Third one was, well, you've had 2, so lay back and think of... So, okay. Mild arthritis, okay? This is mostly, even things like eczema are to do with what we're putting into our guts. Weight training is wonderful for bone density. It is funny to me, I am plant-based and have been for a while because of very many reasons. The Osteoporosis Society is funded by the dairy industry, which is kind of strange because dairy products leach calcium from our bones. Got milk? Good, put it down. It's not your milk, it's not meant for you. Every single mammal weans themselves off their genetic mother's milk and then starts to eat solid food. We're the only species that continues to drink that type of fluid, and unfortunately it's not done in a way that makes it, do you know what? I'm not going to go into that. However, because I could go on for a while. Dairy products are not good for your bones. Weight training, however, is. You can use body weight. However, carrying things that really make you have to put a real effort into it, your body kind of switches into a different mode. For example, having a standing desk tricks your body into being in training zone 1. Your body's like, oh yeah, I'm active. Let's keep the active stuff going. Yeah, burn calories, yeah. Be doing things like heavy lifting, really, heavy lifting. That's another training zone altogether, and different muscles get activated, and it's very, very good for your bones. Women should carry heavy things, always taking care of your alignment, knees bent, chest up, boom, sit out. Women should carry heavy things, whether it's just, I don't know, picking up your concertina file. What did I say about knees bent, chest up, boom, sit out? Yeah, weight in your heels. Weight in the heels. Weight in the heels. Making sure your knees, when you go down, don't do random things. They must track in line. You can have your feet pointing outwards. The knees must track in line. You can have your feet facing forward. Your knees must track in line. Women should carry heavy things. That's great for your legs. Ooh, biceps, I don't know. Get some really heavy tins. Pin your elbows. This is not good. You will hurt something in your shoulder. Pin your elbows so that just the muscles that need to can engage. There's nothing in this, it's very light. Point being, there's a bodybuilder famous for getting himself absolutely ripped. Didn't use a single weight. He just imagined they was pulling up something heavy. You can do that yourself. You don't need any equipment at all. You can do it. You can do pull downs. I'm imagining that I'm pulling something heavy. It's actually quite exhausting. Maybe do 8 reps. Have a rest, do 8 reps. So yeah, if you want any more information, let me know. I'm here all week. And have a wonderful, 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 wonderful International Women's Day. And oh, you love the leggings. Yeah, I'm a brand ambassador for Tina, T-U-I-N-A, Tina Active. And if you use the code Vicky15, you get 15% off. I'll put that in the comments as well. Yeah, please join me one day. Just shove some music on. Shove some music on and dance like no one's watching. Keep your core engaged. Keep that boomsy moving. And ask me any questions. I'm still scrolling through the comments. I should have kept track of this, but when's the next class? So yeah, come on. I'm on a brand and marketing course and I forgot to say when my classes are. Monday, Wednesday and Saturday at 9 a.m. I only do 3 classes a week. However, the benefit of Zoom actually is that I can record the class and I keep each class for a week, which means really you could do, if you do 3 classes and do each of, like, you can do it as many times as you like. I advise doing things like that are high energy in the morning rather than in the nighttime, which is why I do not do evening classes. It doesn't work for me. It doesn't work for my body. I find it more difficult to then get to sleep. So I don't do classes in the evening. I don't suggest anyone does classes in the evening unless it's something like a yoga and a restorative. And they're all at 9 o'clock, the classes. Yeah, toilet holes. Advice on how to detox, yeah, just message me. Yeah, almond and coconut milk. I is not a cow. I is not a baby cow. That is so true. It's true. This group is full of amazing women. I'm so glad I joined. Bruce Lee did something similar. What did he do? Oh, maybe the isometric training stuff. Yeah, first class is free. I shall see you later. I know V's got to go soon. She's got to get more amazing women joined, listening to her foolish advice. I'll see you later. Peace in, love out. Have an amazing day. Bye. I need to drink some water. I've literally been talking like 2.5 hours. See you later, guys. Bye.